waiting on a woman. I don't have to go to work or anything, you know. I was thinking about the pond that I'm just gonna dive in.
So if you win, dominate.
Dude, first to fifth, we're diving in. They better just look out, dude. That checkered flag's gonna come out. They're gonna be like, "Where's Hunter going?" Be like, "Oh, he's in the pond."
Are you ready to go GNCC racing? 10 seconds for row number 1, the XC1 Pro. How about the move by John Quantum? The 712 making a grown man move. 928. That's James Glada. Oh, it's a good day to be a Glada. Loving it. Grabbing a whole shot in the XC2 class.
How do you feel about losing the stash?
I'm a man of my word.
He's a man of his words, folks. So we're going to give Mark Nautman the honors. Here's the Clippers. It's coming off. You can see the pain and angst in his face. We talked about it, though. We know the stash will be back strong. Look at this. Here it comes. No more stash. He's had this since he was 9 years old, folks. This is serious. He's saying the Clippers are bogging down. This just goes to show you guys, these guys take this just as serious as the racers. They're absolutely putting everything into it and making it happen. The first time since he was 9 years old, Colin Davey without a mustache, right here on Racer TV due to the Pit Stop Challenge. Back to you guys. Buddy, I guess I gotta go jump off the tower now.
You gotta go jump off the tower now.
Yeah.
Boots and all.
Yeah. Might not jump in with my hands now. They're a little torn up. And yeah, but no, hey, all in all, solid day. Excited on the way I rode. I led a little bit, just came a little short, you know. Needed a little bit more juice in the tank. Bryson's still got just that smidge more. I think he's just able to just muscle the bike a little bit better than I can. And all in all, you know, we'll go home, we'll regroup. Best I've ever done here, which I'm stoked on. Last time it was a fourth, you know, and we're trending upwards. You know, sand is good. No, it's good.
I know you saw that start. Dude, I was pumped. That felt really good. Haven't ripped a whole shot here since like my A-class days. Yeah. You know, I looked at the start during the amateur race, and I was thinking the outside looked pretty good. And I haven't been starting too great this year, so Matt told me, he's like, I don't care how good you're going to start, I'm making you go outside. But it ended up working out, and, you know, first lap, I bombed a mud hole and sucked some water in. The quad it kept trying to cut out. It really did all but stall a few times. Hunter got around me, and Bryson was all over me trying to get around me. I just blocked him and kept him behind me, and after that, I kept Hunter pretty much in sight most of the day, and just rode her home, made no mistakes, and had a good day here in South Carolina at the last Southern round.
Overall, how do you feel? Got to be a little disappointed.
Oh yeah, it's a heartbreaker for sure. How the last race ended on us. And we went home with our tail tucked between our legs, and the last 2 weeks we worked real hard, and we was up against the wall. So yeah, we wanted to win today, and we did what we did. We got out front. I guess the pass was 3 feet over the mark, so it's on me. Just gauging it by my eye. I thought it was legal. I thought it was right. I guess it was 3 feet over, but it is what it is. So we rode hard. We did our absolute best, and proud of my team. My bike's working real awesome, and we'll just go home, keep working hard.
There you go, guys. Make some noise for the #1, Bryson Neal.
Oh, the National Weather Service has advised 100% chance of champagne showers out here at the FMF Camp Coker Bullet. That is what it's all about.
Are you ready to go? GNCC Racing!
Good afternoon and welcome to round number 6 of the 2023 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We are here at Ironman Raceway, the Shaver family farm, for this, the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC. Johnny, how's it going, man?
Man, it's been an exciting season so far, and no matter how much hype you have coming into the Ironman Raceway, this isn't the Ironman, but it's its little brother, the Hoosier. You know it's just going to bring the heat. I mean, the fans here, next level, the racing here, the course, we got great conditions this weekend. It's just going to be a barn burner.
It's going to be a good one. Hey, we got a little controversy. We have a new points leader, Hunter Hart, coming off back-to-back wins. Now, the first win, Bryson Neal had the mechanical. The second win, Bryson Neal received a penalty, so it cost him a position. Pretty costly penalty when you stack it up and look at the points. I believe it's about a 6-point spread, give or take, something like that, with Hunter Hart, our new points leader. On behalf of Hunter, you can't worry about what anybody else is doing. He's been at the right place at the right time. They're his wins, Johnny.
Absolutely. There are no asterisks in GNCC racing, and although they were maybe not the most conventional and normal wins, they count just the same. The points add up, and that's why he is now your points leader. Coming into this round, obviously, we've got Hunter with the added motivation of trying to keep that leader's points plate. And also, you've got to wonder, a little bit of fuel to the fire to Bryson Neal. He had already said after that mechanical issue at round 4 that, things had kind of started to really make him want to make that statement. Well, then after round 5, you got to just assume it's like these guys poked the bear. And now the bear's going to come out, and he's going to be real grizzly this weekend. And I think we're going to see some big things out of Bryson Neal.
You know what? And to Bryson's credit, I think up front, very professional. I think a good example for any professional athlete, amateur athlete, youth athlete. Now, we don't know what Bryson's saying behind closed doors. We don't know what he's saying under his breath, but the professionalism has been there over the last 2 weeks.
Mikey, I got to tell you, big things out of Bryson Neal the last 2 rounds. Ironically, wins the first 3 rounds. Me personally, let's make this about me for a minute. Me personally, I've gained more respect for Bryson Neal in the last 2 races than I did in all of his wins previous, including his 2022 championship, and here's why. Adversity has come his way. He took it on the chin like a man and said, we're still going to do this. We're just going to keep marching forward. I got a great team of people around me. I know we can get this done.
It's going to be a good one. There's a slew of guys in the XC12 that want a piece of it. You got to think Cole Richardson. He's coming off his first race of the season where he didn't finish on the box. He had a 4th place finish. I got to think he's motivated this weekend as well, Johnny.
Yeah, absolutely. For Cole to be off the box, that's where he's aiming to be. he's already said multiple times in interviews and online he wants to be in the center spot. So the fact that he's off the box, little added motivation for him. John Glauda Jr. obviously on the box at the last round, and a great battle throughout the race. I really feel like he's the guy that maybe has the speed to get up in there and shake things up directly head-on with Bryson Neal, even if it's only a portion of the race. But big things between those four guys, and we know we got a lot more contenders in that class as well.
Absolutely, and we take a look real briefly, the XC2, got to show him some love. Steve Harrell has been sensational. 5 rounds of racing, 5 wins. Does he make it 6 this weekend?
You know, how do you bet against a guy that's just gone 5 for 5? He's just really stepped it up this year. Obviously, at the end of last season, was kind of really finding his own. Made some tweaks to his program this year. Comes out, and we haven't really talked about it, had some adversity in the offseason. Had all of his machines stolen. Basically, his entire race program depleted. And, you know, with some help of some great companies and friends, he literally came back out and has just been unstoppable. But the talent behind him, there is no lack there.
Yeah, Brandon Owens, Lane McCormick, the list goes on. Dylan Walraven. It's a stacked XC2 class. It's just been the Stephen Harrell show.
We can't forget about Grayson Eller. Grayson Eller consistently on the podium. We got a lot of guys that are mixing things up in that XC2. And that, to me, is the exciting class to watch. You know, it seems like the pecking order has kind of established itself in that XC1 class. But in XC2, you know, yes, Stephen Harrell is 5 for 5, but the guys behind him, they're just mixing it up every single race.
Absolutely. Well, hey, you've heard from Johnny and I. We want to take a look and see what this track is going to look like this weekend. We'll throw it down to Jared Bolton with a Yamaha track description.
Well, thanks, guys. Man, it's awesome to be back at Ironman Raceway. Yeah, we know. It's not always great riding the same place 2 times in 1 year. When you come here to Ironman Raceway, it truly is a little bit different both times. When you're here in the fall for the Ironman, the leaves are all down. It feels like the fall. That's exactly what it is. It's the fall. We're able to go out in the fields a lot more, do a whole lot of different stuff. We're here for the Hoosier. The trees are getting green for the first time all year. The fields are planted, so we're staying out of those, staying more in the woods. It's a totally different course than what we ride for the Ironman. Now, yeah, you're riding some of the same trails, but we're able to utilize some sections here. It's a little drier than what it is for the Ironman. So getting some of those sections we don't always use, save some sections for the Ironman, save those fields for the Ironman, run some really fun woods, save some woods. The biggest thing here is it's not the Ironman. This is the Hoosier. We're not doing the big hills. Save those for the Ironman. We're running some other really fun hills that we don't use at the Ironman. Why? Because we're using those big hills. Overall, this is a really, really fun course still. It's on the faster side in places, and then it tightens up also. Give a little bit of something, yeah, for everyone. That's this weekend's track description. Back to you guys.
All right, Jared, thanks for the preview of what these riders are going to be encountering here today on this Ironman race facility. We're here with Mikey. You're not Mikey Waynes. Mikey Waynes is actually headed down to do the 10-second calls on the start, which, Hunter, I think you need to be there for that. You are the points leader.
Yeah, I guess it is a lot later than I thought.
Right, before we let you go, one quick question for you, Hunter. Going out as the points leader today, has anything changed for you? What's the goal going out there? And then we'll let you go get dressed.
No, you know, mindset's still the same. I still want to just go out there, you know, run every race, you know, like we're behind in points, and just keep going from there, keep building. And I think it'll be a great day. Track looks awesome. It's going to be dry for tomorrow. And yeah, you know, last time it was dry here, we were leading until we had a little bobble and hoping to just take off from where we were last year.
All right. Well, Hunter, go on. All right, folks, we're going to get a word from our sponsors here, and we're going to get ready to go here today for the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC.
all-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And a good afternoon and welcome to the folks at home watching live on RacerTV.com. You are tuning into this, the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC, round number 6 of the 2023 Grand National Cross Country Racing Series, presented by Specialized, an AMA National Championship. We're here at the Ironman Raceway, the Shaver family farm, here nestled in the mountainous region, if you will. Well, it's all we got in the flatland area of Indiana. We welcome you out there watching at home on Racer TV, and as you're tuning in here, we are just about ready for Mr. Ricky Towery to lead us in a word of prayer. So if you have not, ladies and gentlemen, here on location, please turn your attention over to Mr. Ricky Towery for a word of prayer. Andrea, I got you, girl. What you need?
All right, thank you, Mikey. Let's go to the Lord and have a word of prayer together this afternoon. Heavenly Father, we do thank you for bringing us all together safely to have a little fun to a beautiful place. Lord, we ask you to watch over these riders this afternoon. Keep them safe. Let them go out there and have a good time together, be it the spectators and the workers and everyone. We thank you for the Shaver family, for letting us use this property to have some fun on. Continue to bless that family. Do watch over our military men and women in all places of the world. Be with our leaders each and every day. Lord, be with our local policemen, firemen, and paramedics, and all our communities throughout the United States, each and every day serving to protect us. Be with them. Lord, we just thank you for being in control of all things each and every day. We've been coming here a long time, Lord, and there's been a lot of good memories made here. We just ask that maybe a few more can be made this afternoon. When it's all over with and we head down the road today and tomorrow, take us all home safely so we can get back together again one day to have some more fun. In Christ's name we pray, amen.
Hold on 1 second. Ready? Here we go.
Thank you for that, Ricky Towery, leading us in a word of prayer. And as Ricky makes his way down into turn number 1, we ask him, the XC2 riders want to go ahead and step forward to that starting line. And the rest of us, we ask you, please remove those hats and cross your hearts as we honor the greatest nation in the world with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Brave.
All right, all right, all right. We are just about ready to set things off now here for the Pro ATV race here this afternoon. Got a few more pertinents to get through, one of which is, well, ladies and gentlemen, we got to meet our starting row for the XC1 Pro class. Jeremy, you good, man? You were struggling there, struggling mightily, and I just called you out about it on TV. We're here for it. Riding to the line in accordance to points, and riding to the line first, the number 3 out of Newfield, New York, on an Ithaca Recreation Hunter Hart Racing backed Yamaha, Hunter Harts. Riding to the line next, the defending champion, the number 1 out of Bidwell, Ohio, on a Phoenix Racing Yamaha, the Bidwell Bullet, Bryson Neal. Riding to the line next, the number 4 out of Edinburgh, Pennsylvania, on a Richardson Racing Action Off-Road backed Yamaha, the Coltrane, Cole Richardson. Riding to the line next, the 712 out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, on a Pierce Performance Action Off-Road backed Yamaha, John Glotta Jr. Riding to the line next, the 521 out of Waverly, West by God, Virginia, on an Over Tires Moose Racing backed Honda, the Gator, Adam McGill. Riding to the line next, the number 6 out of Acme, Pennsylvania, on an Action Off-Road Pro Graphics Kenda backed Yamaha, Jay Shadron. Riding to the line next, the 621, the red hot rookie out of Hillsboro, Ohio, on an SBR GBC backed Yamaha, Wyatt Wilkin. Riding to the line next, the number 9 out of Pennsylvania, on a JMR GBC backed Honda, the Cobra, Jared McClure. Riding to the line next, the most wins in GNCC history out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania, on an Action Off-Road AMSOIL backed Yamaha, Chris Borich. Riding to the line next, the number 11 out of Akron, Ohio, on an Action Off-Road GBC tires backed Yamaha, Josh Merritt. Riding to the line next, the 714 out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on a Bulletproof Doors backed Yamaha, Ronnie Rush. And ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, he's Indiana's own, and he's got a very touching tribute out here today. The 703 on the jersey, the 703 on the helmet, but on the machine it's the 899 as he pays tribute to Jake Stonebreaker, Indiana, your own, Austin Abney. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your starting row for this, the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC. As we are just about, follow me, as we are just about ready to roll now. Excuse me, folks. We'll sneak right back here. Watch your step right there. DJ Judd hops into the R-Max 1000. And as Judd jumps into the Yamaha, the Monster Energy Activation Transport. What's up, dude? Let me get you right over there, my man. Right over there. We say, DJ Judd, remove the meat. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're like the Beyond Burger. We remove the meat. Not true. We double up on the meat. Monster Energy Activation Transport. in full force. Midway point of the season, round number 6, 12 rounds of racing in 2023. A new points leader. The man's coming off 2 wins in a row. With some controversy? Sure. But that's for us to talk about. The boys on row number 1 are going to go out and do work, and they're going to battle for 2 hours. And right now we got 1 minute until we are ready to go GNCC racing. And Ricky Towery now in turn number 1 as he takes the reins of this Hoosier GNCC. And we are just about ready to go. All right, blue flag in the air waving. That means shut them down, shut them down, shut them down, shut them down as we are just about ready to roll now. Shut them down, boys and girls. And I got to ask you, Crawfordsville, Indiana, the Hoosier GNCC, are you ready to go GNCC racing? Oh, that's pretty good, but by God, come on. This is the heartbeat of America, the Midwest, Indiana, my home. I love it here. You love it here. I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you ready to go GNCC racing? 10 seconds for row number 1, the XC1 Pro. Bang! And we're off. As our riders jockey for position in turn number 1, it's chaos, it's pandemonium, but it means nothing to the number 9 of Jared McClure. The Cobra goes up and grabs it. Chris Borich's going to have his work cut out for him. And the number 3, if I'm not mistaken, Hunter Hart. And I think McGill's got the lead out front, if I'm not mistaken. XC2 Pro-Am class, Steve Harrell. Who's going to stop that man? Jeremy Ladon, Charles Dunn, Grayson Eller in 10 seconds. Nate Harvey, Brandon Owens, Gabriel Nod, Kenny Schick, Nicholas Royalty, Daniel Peters, Chase Allison, Lane McCormick, Baby Mac, Michael McAvoy, Albert Jadish, Dylan Walraven, Chris McKellen, Tanner Walker, and James Glotta. Go get it, Jim. No, it's going to be the 912 of Lane McCormick. Grabbing the whole shot and early lead there. Here we go. College A, 16-19. Keaton Henderson, Briggs Lizelle, Parker Henderson, Alex Tiemann, Charlie Stewart in 10 seconds. Andre Williams, Christopher Howard, Connor Brandt, Elijah Edmondson, Ty McGay, Caden Lambrino, Tavin Cook, Harrison Baird, Chase Cooper, Dominic Stevens, Evan Osborne, Damon Grisham, Harrison Lindsay, who wants the whole shot. The 087 of Alex Tiemann will grab that whole shot. And the early lead, we got one rider trying to get that machine fired up. Will they get it fired up in time, or are they going to have to turn it, push it to the side of the track? They're going to have to push it to the side of the track. Keep her going, boys and girls. There you go. There you go. Hopefully they can get her up and rolling. Junior A 20 plus coming up next. 10 seconds. Ethan Meyer, Henry Moore, Colton Kusta, Brett Wilson, Dalton Keys, Riley Salick, Alan Daniels, Alex Elioff, Matt Smith, Cody Edwards, Logan Case, William Walden, Zach Knight, Ryan Meyer, DJ Malo, Hunter Johnson, Tevin Masters. That's going to be the 620 of Zach Knight out of Harrisville, West Virginia, aboard the Yamaha. Grabbing a whole shot and early lead there. Vet A 30 plus, Nick Davidson, Christopher Kirby in 10 seconds. Dave Machisco. Nice little three-way battle here in the Vet A 30 plus class. Oh, good clean hole shot right there by the 228 of Nick Davidson on that B&R Motorsports back ride. Here we go, Senior A 40 plus. One more rider off the line. Senior A 40 plus, Brad Whitehead, Rick Marino, Derek Hart, Dirk DeCerci in 10 seconds. Brian Foltz, Zachary Phillips, and Chris Conklin. Bang, and they're off. Got a Honda out front, but boy, they're just about all Hondas out there right now. The 030 Brad Whitehead on that ECS Honda. JMR backed ride. Getting it done early. College B 16 to 18 in 10 seconds. William Whitty, James Berger, Bryson Bellamy, Isaac Hart, Alex Gross, Aiden Hunter, Andrew Adams, David Witt, Blake Martin, Andrew Adams, Samuel Disher, Caden Scott, Tate Long, Jack Neely, Denton White, Nicholas Daring, Nick Froman, Braden Brock. The 447 and the 980. That was a battle between Nick Foreman and Cody Whitaker, if my eyes didn't mistake me, and it's a good one. Here we go, Junior B 19 plus in 10 seconds. Michael Worth, Reardon Doran, Ethan Kelsmeyer, Mike Rice, Pat Davis, Tyler Weltick, Connor Adar, Trace Furby, Clayton Kawasaki, Gavin Temple, Cody Chaseman, Caleb Adar, Michael Donson, Gino Frentelli, Trey Hester. That's going to be the 501 of Michael Donson out of North Lima, Ohio, aboard the Yamaha. Vet B 30 plus now. Sam Clossy, Tyler Griffith, Ethan Parsons in 10 seconds. David Bonebrake, Ken Bauer, Patrick Resigno, Daniel Norman, Mark Devins, John Higgins, and Robert Henson. Woo! Getting her up on two wheels. Little check up from the neck up right there from the 959 of Robert Henson. Grabbing the whole shot out of Iron Station, North Carolina. And here we go. Senior B 40 plus. 10 seconds. Shane Word, Jason Noble, Jeff Davis, Ricky Lewis, Paul Girk, Travis Fleming, Scott Gross, Bobby McCulley, Jason Lemley, Chad Wallace, Mike Horwat, and Luke DeCerci. Let's make sure we got a good clean start line. We're good there. And let's see who wants the hold shot. That might have been too close to call. Chad Wallace was in the fight, though. The 608 Yamaha to St. Clairsville, Ohio. But that is going to do it for us down here on the start. What a start it was. Complete and total pandemonium and chaos in the XC1 class. How will it shape up? We're going to take a short break, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here from the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees, and you're doing 230s, and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall, I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the 2023 AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC. This is round 6 of the Grand National Cross Country Series and AMH National Championship. My name is Jackson Burrell and I'm alongside Zach Heron. We'll be joined by Johnny G later in the show, and of course you've already heard from our main man Mikey Waynes with the 10-second calls. Stay tuned as Zach recaps our start of this 2-hour race.
Appreciate it, Jackson. Yeah, absolutely great stuff going on right off the bat. And I'm going to save it, but we got some drama in store. We take a look at the Specialized start recap. Actually going to do things in a little flip-flop order. We're actually going to start off with our XC2 class and take a look at that start first. Give you guys a glimpse. Beautiful weather. They actually laid down a little bit of water there. That was man put down water, not any rain. A great jump there for the XC2 class. But it's going to be Lane McCormick pretty securely grabbing the whole shot when he came across the line, was able to get hard on the brakes and squeeze that inside line, put a little bit of distance between himself and the rest of the field as they made their way off into the woods. Great look at that Yamaha live drone as the riders make their way off into the woods. Now we take a look at the XC1 class and pay attention to the top side of the screen. Problems, it looked like, for Hunter Hart. Boom, right there into the hay bale on the inside. Your new points leader gets stuck. And we actually lose him out of shot, but he tried to pull forward and got stuck once again, so several seconds behind. Jared McClure grabbed the whole shot, but here you see Adam McGill slinging it around the outside, going sideways, and grabbing the whole shot, or the lead, I should say, at that point when they made their way off into the woods. So a great start there from Adam McGill. That's your Specialized start recap. And speaking of Adam McGill, I believe we actually were able to catch up with him a little bit earlier and hear from him.
What's up, guys? It's been a while since I've been able to talk to you, but I'm here to tell you a little bit about what's been going on with me. We're having a hell of a year. It's been awesome. We've been trying, training well. I had to change up my diet. I was diagnosed last year with Lyme's disease at Snowshoe. So I went and seen a doctor after Ironman, and he got me on the right track of what I need to eat, what I need to look for, what I need to stay away from. My wife's at home, and she's constantly making things and being conscious of what I need to eat. And I'm telling you, it's working, man. We're 5th in points, I think, right now. We're a couple points out of 4th, and we're consistently back up to where we should be. And what's crazy is I'm 10 years older than what I was at this same point last time I was here. So this is kind of mind-blowing, and I'm super excited to be here at the Ironman Raceway racing, and the conditions look awesome, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if I can't just show these young kids what's up with this old man and these gray whiskers. Yeah, so the points are definitely tight. You know, we've been pushing all year. I've always had goals and things like that. My goal is to finish every race. I've never had a season in GNCC where I finished every race, and we've always had to dig from the back. So with us being this close to points, you know, my dad's been checking the bike over even more. You know, D at Rage ATV has been, you know, making sure my engines are fresh every race. I've been putting new Henson clutches in it, new Obor tires. You know, Custom Max has been doing my shocks, you know, every 2 races. So we're definitely trying to get rid of those mistakes to see if we can't get us maybe in the top 3 before the end of the year. So when I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease, it shook my whole world. And now I have to be super conscious of what I do. And what I mean by that is there's certain foods I eat that cause me to flare up. There's certain things that I have to stay away from that causes me to have problems. So I've had to change up my whole life. I've had to change my outlook on stuff. So like if I race today, which obviously I am, I'm going to take a couple days off because my body doesn't heal the same as it used to. And I've been, you know, going to doctors and looking at stuff online and trying to really, you know, educate myself on this. And the more I've been able to educate myself, the better my results have been. And it's been crazy to think that, you know, just listening to my body has changed up my program as much as it has.
So cool to hear from Adam there, and great to see him off to a good start out here at round number 6. It's the halfway point in the series. If there was ever time to try to change that momentum, this is it. And so good stuff to hear from Adam there. And we are joined by another guest up here in the truck, someone who, you know, we talk about Johnny G. He's able to spot them out, make us look like sharpshooters up there, the way he's able to identify the riders. But we're about to get the opinion and the look at it through a different set of eyes, Jackson. You know, we're just mere announcers. We're just speculating, but we're going to have someone who's been there and done that. Mr. Walker Fowler joining us up here in the truck. How you doing, man?
Hey, good to be back. Thanks, guys.
What do you think about this Hoosier course and the chaos we've already got before we even left the first turn? Hunter Hart grabbing it looked like he might have even grabbed the whole shot to start. He had a great drive coming up the inside. He made contact with that hay bale dead last coming out into the woods.
Yeah, not a good place to be. I know Hunter was really amped up for this race. Obviously, the controversy surrounding the last race, and we're not even going to talk about that because that's you know, old news. But yeah, obviously you want to be able to back up all your wins, and you just want to come out here and put a strong showing in. So I was trying to watch it on my phone, and from the drone footage, I couldn't tell. There's a lot of blue bikes out there, which I love seeing all the Yamahas, but I couldn't tell who it was. But I had an idea that it was Hunter, and obviously we don't know where our current second place but defending series champion Bryson Neal.
Oh, saw a pass there.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That might have been Neal making the pass for the lead right there. Honestly, that was fast. I know he's in a red set of gear today.
That is
and there it is
for sure.
The number 1, Bryson Neal.
Jared McClure and Adam McGill, and possibly Jay Shadron.
So far today we've been told that this Hoosier course a lot more high speed. It's a lot of the younger riders seem to really enjoy it, but from a professional standpoint, the high speed, do you think that plays into certain people's hands, or it's just, you know, kind of everybody's going to run at the same speed?
Oh no, there's definitely guys that like going faster than others, and man, the weather conditions are perfect. Dust will not be a factor. I heard that the one creek crossing down below, basically avoiding Ironman Hill because we're saving that. I heard that that's getting pretty deep. So, but man, weather conditions are perfect. 70 degrees, sunny, and just it's a good day for racing. But with that number 1 out front, he likes to go fast. This is definitely going to be, now that he's in the lead, it's going to take a mistake for anyone to touch him.
Yeah, you talked about we're not mentioning what's happened, but you know, if you've been following along, there's been drama, there's been some chaos. Bryson, you know, trying to be really mature about it, took it on the chin, didn't, you know, try to go online and complain about it. You know, he's tried to refocus. He's up here where we talk about Supercross has got east and west, we've got north and south here. It's the halfway point. We're up here here in the north. Talk about trying to regroup if you're going through something like Bryson, where obviously he's been having a great season, but he's just had these last few races a couple of hiccups. What's Bryson got to do to regroup and come out swinging?
I mean, you're watching it. He got to that lead, and he's already slowly getting ahead. And man, it just, I mean, look at that. Already into that chicane. He's already 4 or 5 seconds ahead. He's doing exactly what he has to do. The best way to shut people up is to just go do it.
Just a little side-by-side action there coming down.
Yep, that was McClure and McGill, and I believe is it actually Wyatt Wilkin? I thought I saw a 3-digit number in that number 4 spot after I said it was Jay Shad. And then we have Cole Richardson, John Galata, Austin Abney, the local favorite. Jay Shadron's actually in 8th, Hunter Hart in 9th after that start, which is that's just unfortunate for him. Rounding out the top 10, Bronny Rush. I'm assuming that Hunter's definitely going to move through the pack, but he's. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna take a lot to catch that man out front right now. But man, this battle 2 through about 6 or 7 is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I think you make a good point, especially for somebody like Hunter. Obviously, he wanted to come out, try to make the most of his position. He's out front in the points, but now sitting in the 9th place spot, I think he's got to almost go in just save it mode. Try to get as many points as possible. But Jackson, we were even talking earlier, Bryson Neal, it seems like when the guy gets out front, he's got an extra gear. He just somehow immediately starts to pull a gap, and we're seeing it once again.
Yeah, he definitely does.
I'm going to switch over a microphone here, Jackson.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, Zach. Bryson Neal has been on it. I watched him go through one of those corners, and he just was flying through it. I'm sure you saw what I saw. He took the outside on one of those sweeping corners and was just absolutely flying. And I know he's going to have a vengeance at this race, if any.
Yes, and this is a track that he's really strong at, whether it's the spring round here, the Hoosier, or the Ironman round in the fall. He's just, I mean, honestly, at this point, to be a champion, you have to be good in all conditions. And I know the last 2 years especially, he really started figuring that out. There were certain tracks and races that he struggled with. And now maturity and bike setup and just maybe his mindset has changed a lot. And I know battling him last year, the tracks I thought I was the favorite at mid-race, I was like, well, I think I can check this one off the list. I'm no longer the favorite here because I'm watching it unfold in front of me. And that's what it takes to be a champion. So obviously, yeah, I mean, at this point, other than a mechanical and then a small mistake on his part, the time differential at the end is also very noticeable. I mean, we're not talking 30 seconds, we're talking 3 minutes. If he has a good clean race, and I have a feeling today in his brain he wants to make a big statement. So if he goes out and wins by 5 minutes, I wouldn't be surprised. But as a champion, as a mature rider, you need to be smart, because the only thing that will take him out is possibly pushing it too hard, and he has no reason to do that right now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard people say, that they thought Bryson was going so fast it was almost pushing the limit a little bit. So yeah, that's definitely going to come into play here. How hard is he going to push? Is he going to push too hard?
Well, and it's an interesting point too, because and Walker probably the best person to ask about this. What is that safe number? When you had a gap number in your head, were you saying, okay, I need to get a minute out and then I can start to put it at 95%, or was it 2 minutes? Where do you think that safe enough cushion is for somebody like Bryson right now?
I mean, obviously anything is better than nothing. Your transponder has to cross the line first at the end. That's technically safe, but as a rider, you want to be out of sight, which is probably 10 seconds. But ultimately, to be able to have a mistake, hit a tree, be able to get off the bike, move it, get back on the track, and keep going, and be out of sight, you have to have 30 seconds. And we're going to see 30 seconds here. I'm very confident I can say that we're going to see 30 seconds. Now, whether he continues to stretch it out, that's on him, and you can tell as a rider. Like, there's actually days, and last year there were days where if he was a little off and was trying to not pull me by 2 minutes, he would actually ride worse. If he just goes out there and rides wide open like he knows how to do, he's almost safer. So you might see a big win, and it's the first lap. I mean, anything can happen.
Well, and I think it's only Bryson's past behavior as far as when he gets out front that's causing these conversations. But I completely agree. I think it'll be interesting to watch whether or not he stretches out and whether he all the way to the finish, is dropping that hammer. But it's an interesting point because you've heard that before. When a rider has, it's not a lapse in focus, but they almost shift their focus to not crashing, to not making that mistake, almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It leads them right to it.
It leads them right to it. I've had Bryson Neal specifically actually talk to me about that and say if he does slow down, that he likes to keep that pace up and charge as hard as he can because that's when he does his best.
I know we've missed some of the XC2 guys, but I know talking with Stephen Harrell before the race. Okay, here we have looks like Bryson. And Adam McGill has actually latched onto that #1 ride, so that's fantastic. Jared McClure, that might have been Cole Richardson. That's John Galata, and I might have been Austin Abney. And there's the #3 of Hunter Hart, and there are the famous headlights of Jay Shadron.
Yeah, looking like McCormick is still hanging on to the lead there in that XC2 class with your points leader sitting there in second. And we talk about that. Stephen Harrell in that XC2 class. He's the only one right now that's got nothing but ones across the board with the opportunity to go 6 for 6 today. And Stephen, every time you talk to him, he doesn't seem too excited, too concerned about it. Hey, we got to win. That's great. If we got second, that's okay. But I don't think he's too concerned about it or putting a lot of pressure on himself for a perfect season.
Yeah, the perfect season's tough. I'm the only guy to do it in the XC1 and XC2. I've only done it in XC2. But, man, you can't think about it. You have to take these GNCCs one race at a time. There's so many variables, and that's the beauty of GNCC racing. Just when you think we have a favorite or we have a guy that should be leading the points, GNCC will flip it on your head and say, nope, not today. And,
and to that point, we heard the rumblings, the early rumblings of people thinking it may be possible for the #1. Then here we go. We have chaos over the last 2 rounds. Nobody would have been able to predict that. But, man, it's made it exciting for us up here in the truck, regardless of your opinion, your feelings about it. We got a 3-point points battle for the top of the field there in the XC1.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I can't help but talk about is Adam McGill has been saying all week that he has really been feeling himself and feeling good. And, guys, he has latched on to the back of that #1 ride. Jared McClure still in tow in 3. I wasn't able to catch the #4 spot. But Adam said, I want a podium. I'm so close. He's what, 4th in points? 5th in points?
5th in points.
And that's one of his best seasons in almost 10 years. So he said, I want a piece of that podium pie. And guys, he's not only doing that, he is actually battling the #1 machine out front for the lead. And he's definitely taking his training a lot more serious this year, and he makes the jokes about his diet and stuff, that he has laid off the Crown Royal a little bit. Love you, Adam. I'm proud of you for that, and it's showing, man. This is awesome, and boy, is this track fast, especially when there's no crops and there's usually this has been like tilled up and it's really gnarly. It had all winter to sit, so it's good hard ground, and man, these guys are just breakneck speeds out there. But a little look back from the #1 machine. He's probably trying to figure out who actually was capable of latching on.
Well, and it's a curious point to that as well, because I'm sure he wants to know what's going on with Cole. I'm assuming by this point they're probably getting pit boards and stuff, so he's aware that Hunter's had issues, probably knows where Cole's at, and as far as the point schemes goes, he's right where he wants to be. Ultimately not too concerned because they're all behind him.
Absolutely. But at this point, you need to take advantage of the guy in the points lead right now having a bad day. If you can start spacing yourself out, super important to take advantage of that bad start by the #3 Hunter Hart.
I tell you, another person I'm going to be watching for is that 5th place rider, Cole Richardson. We know he's been in that top 3, especially him and Hunter Hart. They've kind of been the guys just behind Bryson Neal. But with the unforeseen circumstances and everything else, we go to that first race, Hunter got the best of Cole. They were going all the way down the line, and you could see the disappointment on Cole's face. He knew how important it was. Now with a situation like this, I'm sure Cole's also been told, hey, Hunter had a bad start. He had an issue. You really got to make the most of this. So Richardson currently sitting in P5 right now, but Jackson, I'm going to be on the lookout for him to be coming soon towards the later end of this moto.
Definitely, Zach. And I've got some questions here for you. When they're going into this, what are they aiming for? They want the dry stuff, or they want that hard packed, or are they trying to get over into the loamy stuff?
You want right on that cushion. You see that there's almost a dark line edge. You don't want to be over top of that berm. That berm is deceivingly tall. Like right here, there's actually, it's kind of wet. I'm sure they watered it because the road's right there. But there's a dry spot and a dark spot, and you want to barely, they call that the cushion or the fluff, and you want that rear tire just barely grazing the edge of that, and you have to keep the front out of it. If the front hits that, it will suck you over the berm, and all of a sudden, if you need to be turning left, you're turning right.
I can definitely imagine.
It's different than the two wheels that we come from, and that's something that we talk about, the way the lines develop compared to Saturday and Sunday. A lot of these guys, it almost seems like they go like road racer style, where they start way on the outside, and then they kind of try to hug real tight throughout the apex of the corner there. But that's something else we see on screen right there. The ruts are comparatively different than a motocross track as well, because you guys, you kind of got two sets of wheels that you got to fit into those. Doesn't allow you to move around quite as much, especially when it gets deep.
Yeah, and I know at the last round, that's what was happening. It was a quote-unquote wide track, but John Galata making some moves up. He's up around Wilkin, and Hunter Hart appears that he's moved up to probably about 7th, and that is Austin Abney and Jay Shadron. But yeah, anyway, the last race, it got super rutted out, and even though it was a quote-unquote fast race, there wasn't anywhere for anyone to go. So lap traffic became a huge issue, because usually they'll pull out of our way, but the ruts were so bad they physically couldn't get off the track. So there was just a lot of issues with lap traffic and making passes. So a lot of not bumper cars, but just playing a choo-choo train.
Slot car racing.
Slot car racing. That's what I'm trying.
Exciting stuff going on right now. We're sitting here at mile 5, and it looks like we may be hearing a word from our sponsors here, so we'll be back right now. Bryson Neal leads the way on the number 1. We'll be back for the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC.
Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won the championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees, and you're doing 230s, and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall I think where I improved the most was my consistency and my recovery.
Tires, a division of Greenball Corp, has been in the tire business for over 44 years. We're passionate about developing quality tires that perform great and bring extraordinary value to our customers. Whether you're looking for a tire that can handle your off-road adventures, need a reliable tire to take you from job site to job site, or simply want a tire with a beefier look that won't break the bank, then check out Canati Tires.
The United States Motorcycle Coaching Association has been setting a standard for motorcycle coaching since 2016. Coaching is important for all riders, no matter the age or skill level. The USMCA connects riders with coaches, whether the rider is just starting out on their motorcycling journey, to a competitive amateur racer looking to reach their next milestone, or the professional athlete trying to clinch a title. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app and get connected to a USMCA certified coach today.
Premier form of off-road motorcycle racing in the world. It's the beginning of a new era. 17 Supercross, 11 motocross, and those 3 playoff rounds.
Super Motocross World Championship Final. Tickets on sale now. Visit supermotocross.com.
30-second card is up. We've talked all about it. We've watched practice and qualifying. We've theorized. We've bench raced. Now it is time to go. Race her up. Keep started. Side by side we go. Jet Lawrence, Justin Cooper in front of the crowd. Leader of Chase Sexton. Can anyone else get up in the mix? They have been 1-2 in the last 7 motos of this championship. Here we go.
Every race, every day, in every way. Print, social, digital, video, photo. Every race, every day. Every result, every story, every rider, everything. Moto every day. With Racer X.
Yeah, 2023 season, man, had its ups and downs for sure. Came out with, I think, an 8th, and then, had a couple top 5s, 2 5ths, I think, but had one mechanical, just unfortunate luck with the motor. A little out of my control, just freak things happen sometimes, that's racing, so just kind of forget about it, keep moving forward. We're coming north now, the weather's getting good. These are my style tracks we're coming into. Ironman Raceway here, I always do well here. Just something about the dirt and the flow, you know, I really like this place, so the key is, you know, just try to get the confidence up. It's tough to build confidence and it's easy to lose it, so it's just a fact of you know, get a good finish and build off it, and I just need the momentum and I need to keep working on it. So go out today, you know, the goal, try to get on the box, you know, just get that confidence and keep moving into the next round.
Fleur there. Welcome back, everybody. Round number 6 of the 2023 GNCC series, the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC out here in Indiana. And what a race we've got. Bryson Neal leads the way right now on the number 1. And speak of the devil, look at that hydration hanging out, but the number 1 back out front, exactly where he was wanting to be. And curious to see exactly how far the gap is. Yeah, still not very far back to second place, guys.
Yep, Adam McGill, the Gator, I'm just super impressed. And, man, like I said, his difference in training this year is clearly paying off for him. It's phenomenal. I didn't think I missed anybody, but now that is Cole Richardson. Yep, Cole Richardson on screen there, and also John Glotta.
And those two have kind of been fighting there on that final step of the podium. Glotta got the 3rd place spot. First time we saw Richardson off of the box, and I believe that was Wyatt Wilkin coming through there.
Jared McClure dropping back quite a bit, and then that was Hunter Hart, Austin Abney, and Jay Shadron rounding out the top 10, I believe. 9? I might have missed one guy in there.
Still waiting for them to come through the scoring line here. I do believe it was Ronnie Runch rounding out the top 10 the last time, but I definitely think Hunter has moved up from 9th since the last time they came across the scoring line there. So if you're just joining us, Hunter Hart, your new points leader, had issues there in the first turn and was basically dead last coming into the woods. So going to be interesting to see where the number 3 is able to work his way up to it, and that's got to be a heartbreaker. You know, I mean, I'm sure he was super excited. He finally got that points lead, and not even all the way through the first turn, something like that happens.
Yeah, he was definitely bummed.
But that's racing, guys. Just like what happened with Bryson Neal, that's racing as well. So I guess to each their own as far as mistakes go. But, man, another person that I'm really blown away by this season is John Glotta. The first race, I didn't really see him being that much of a contender, and he's really proved himself over the last few rounds.
Yeah, I think the biggest bummer there was him not being able to race the Wild Boar round in Florida. So he's already starting off, you know, at a points deficit, and he's definitely having to get some good finishes to claw back. But, man, as fast as it is, he has great endurance, or he's starting to get better endurance. Here we go, number 1 through with Adam McGill still close in tow, and it looks like Cole Richardson's still fending off John Glotta. But, you know, back to that, Glotta is really good at motocross as well, a great crossover rider, and a lot of people have been saying that this track here today at the Hoosier is very motocross-like. So wouldn't be surprised to see obviously these two battling, continuing into the race, or even John Glotta maybe going forward.
Well, and it's an interesting point. You talk about him getting food poisoning down there in Florida, wasn't able to race Wild Boar, but he did go and race the Daytona ATV Supercross. And so we saw he had speed out there, and to your point, this wide open, fast Hoosier track seems to be playing into that. We saw him trying to cut down underneath Cole Richardson. But let's talk about the top of the field again. When's the last time we remember seeing Bryson Neal with a sub 10-second lead coming across the line? Like, it's been a minute, and McGill is the guy holding him there. I mean, that would not have been on my bingo card, as they like to say, yeah. As we see Bryson coming through, checking out the pit board there, and the Gator hanging strong. There was some kind of signaling there. I don't know what that was, but he still seems to be going full throttle right now.
Yeah, and then this is an interesting one, guys. The Ironman facility is the only one that we have that the pits are only used if you're pitting. So if you need goggles, if you need fuel or some sort of mechanical, and you actually accidentally come down the lane that they're currently on, they actually are not able to pull in because see this banner here. So things get real interesting. You have to know your correct pit strategy. And actually last year we had another incident with the pitting, and it did result in a penalty. So I know that Mike's being weird. I do know that there's definitely some weird things going on with the pits this weekend as well, so maybe keep an eye on that.
Yeah, we talk about how much of a team thing this is as far as GNCC goes, and that doesn't just mean, you know, everybody's there and they worked on it beforehand. It takes a full crowd. We see oftentimes the wives and girlfriends getting involved in the pit stops as well, but the communication side specifically this weekend going to be crucial, as now we take a look at our Monster Mile. And there it is, the Gator hanging strong, trying to grab a hold and do a death roll of this lead here.
That was good.
That's the extent of my Gator references, guys. So that's all I've got. But
that was phenomenal. But yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that it's not that Bryson Neal is not going fast. He just looks controlled. So I'm surprised. You know, obviously the internet chatter and stuff, not from him, from his fans, and I'm sure it comes back to him, and him just being really fired up and want to go out there and just absolutely light the world on fire. I'm super impressed that he is just kind of staying cool, calm, and collected. And you know, he might be riding at 95%, but he looks like he's riding at that 75% that we talk about. And looks like we have Jared McClure being dogged by Austin Abney still. So that should be your battle for, I believe, 7 and 8 still. And Jay Shadron there on screen for 9. And Josh Merritt, I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm definitely bummed out for him. A top 10 is still phenomenal. But I know coming into the season, Josh Merritt wants to be a top 5 guy. He knows that he can battle in that 4 to 7 range every race. And I know he was battling maybe some back problems and just some little stuff. Had a mechanical in at the Georgia race. Yeah, just bummed for him, but just hope maybe he can continue to not lose too much time and stay in that top 10 just for good season points.
Now, to your point about Neal being just a couple of seconds out in front there of McGill, do you think we would see that same type of body language if it was Hunter Hart just behind him, or if it was Cole Richardson? Or do you think because it's like, hey, you know, these guys kind of know who each other are, whether they're close or friends or not, he knows who Adam McGill is, and I'm sure he's either getting told on pit board or he sees behind him, this guy behind me is not an immediate points threat, so maybe I just hold right now, but he's clearly got to feel comfortable about the pace that they're running.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whoever's behind you, it's going to be tough to. Everyone that is in that position wants to go to the front. So yes, he is concerned, but you can tell that he is comfortable. But man, I got to tell you, if the Gator has an opportunity to go to the front, he is going to take that lead, and the crowd here is going to absolutely lose their mind. I know that the IXCR fans, at least at one point, were big Adam McGill fans, and I think race fans in general just love Adam McGill.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Walker. Mikey Wayne's here. I made it, guys.
Talking about local legends here.
I made it. I often
7 microphones.
I often tell Adam that, like, the hillbillies of West Virginia, and that's a compliment for those watching at home. I'm not insulting. We're like the flatbillies here in Indiana, like kindred spirits cut from the same cloth. We just don't have mountains. That's pretty much the difference. But they like to party, so Adam McGill is right up their alley.
Yeah, we talk about, they said Florida kind of claimed Hunter Hart. Literally my first night here, we stopped and got food. We're talking to a local person I thought was here for GNCC. They're just a local racer, and he even said, yeah, the local crowd, you know, we love Austin. He was like, he's the local, but we also love Adam McGill. I really like
there you go.
Second favorite, which that's great. That's awesome. And it's good to see
Come on,
Austin.
Walker, you're heated. No, I'm teasing.
No,
I'm teasing.
Peanut butter and jealous. Who I am. That's why I'm
stop it.
I am pumped that Austin, I know with having that knee injury coming into the season, is he an 8th? Yes, but time-wise, he is really still holding strong in to that top 5, so that's awesome. Man, the track conditions, I can't get over how awesome that dirt looks. It looks like brownie batter.
Oh, the brownie, I love that phrase. Love it.
The moisture seems to be holding strong in it too. We see obviously the open sections, it's a little dry, but they're in the woods. Traction and line security, they're really strong right now.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, number 1 back on screen. Water bottle back in the mouth. Slight gap opening up. We still have Adam McGill in second place too, which good for him, guys.
Strange question, guys, or Walker, I guess specifically. Johnny's in the building too here, but when you take the water bottles and they're full and they're bouncing all over the place, does that ever like bother you?
You're so in the zone, it doesn't. What bothers me is like when I'm done with it, if I can't find a local disposal center and drop it because I don't believe in littering. If it would fall out of your mouth and ends up on your foot pegs, that is like not necessarily dangerous, but like a detriment to the race because now it's like I've had it get like wedged in the shifter and not be able to shift.
Oh,
wow.
Wyatt Wilkin, I think in 4th, maybe I could be wrong. I might have missed somebody there.
Big change. Yeah, I do believe that was Wilkin. That might have been Hart just behind him too.
Yep, it's
And I'm curious.
These guys are still close.
I missed when they came by there, but I know Richardson and Glauda were wheel to wheel the last time we saw them as well. Glauda was searching all over the place. The line creativity is crucial, but it does sound like Richardson has kind of re-secured that third place spot and stretched it out a little bit. As we look at mile 3 right now, the FMF PowerPoint. We're not doing the hill this weekend, but we are doing a hill, and everybody hanging out wants to check out the hill climb there. And yeah, just a really fun facility. This entire thing, not just the course, but the entire Ironman facility here for the Hoosier GNCC, absolutely phenomenal. And the fans are enjoying it.
So I'm pretty sure
like that was Merritt.
That is
there.
Josh Merritt, but on screen shortly is probably going to be that battle in the XC2 class. Well, we're moving cameras, but anyway, Brandon Owens continues to lead that over Steve Harrell. Who knows? Maybe the streak ends today, but I know that Mr. number 12, Steve Harrell, he wants to see that win number 6 for sure. So here you go, Bryson Neal out into the cornfield, the start field area, and obviously looks like he stretched it out a little bit, but these fast sections, 5 seconds in the woods is a lot different than 5 seconds in the open. But I have to say that has opened up a little bit.
And we talk about, to throw it back to the old Blake Baggett El Chupacabra days, was there maybe a point where he gets the, now drop the hammer? Like maybe we'll wait a little bit and then maybe drop the hammer, because Bryson Neal seems to be finding that extra gear that we keep talking about within the last minute and a half since we talked about him.
Yeah. Comfort with the track. They've done a full lap now, or maybe maybe Adam really did make a mistake and he'll reel him back in as he did earlier. But we'll see. Cole Richardson on screen there, and that might be the number 3 ride.
Hunter Hart has actually gotten around Wyatt Wilkin. John Glauda Jr. dropped way back there in that last shot. Looked like he lost about 15-20 seconds. So something happened when he was trying to work his way around Cole Richardson, and has now dropped all the way back to that number 3, 4, 5, 6 spot.
Well, and to your point there, Johnny, when we did see Cole and John going at it, it looked not physical, but it looked pretty intense to say the least. So I wouldn't be surprised whether or not something went wrong or went awry there, trying to make the pass. But he is up on it hard.
And Wyatt Wilkin making that quad wide, trying to find every little inch behind him, just working the outsides, working the insides. But man, the Florida boy, he's used to those faster, wide tracks, and it's awesome to see him come from 9th on lap 1 up to that number 4 position on screen. We'll see where he ends the lap when they come through timing and scoring. But also Wyatt Wilkin having a phenomenal rookie season, consistent, which is so rare for a rookie rider. So just pumped to see that for him. Looks like Josh Merritt. Yes, Josh Merritt on screen. So that means those other guys are somewhere over here at a camera site that we can't see.
And actually, Walker, in that last shot previous to the one we just saw there, actually, Hunter Hart was behind Wyatt Wilkin and a good ways behind. So he's the one on the move right now. I expect the next time we see him on screen that he will be all over the back of, if not already in front of, the number 4 of Cole Richardson. So the number 3 is on the move.
He is definitely on the move.
Well, and I expect Richardson to give him a fight for it, though, because like we've been saying, those two, as far as the points battle goes, we know Richardson wanted to try to maximize this. I'm sure he was aware that Hunter had issues off the start, so he is not going to want to see the number 3 get around him.
Interesting you bring up Cole Richardson. We played out the scenarios. Obviously, the big talk is about, hey, Bryson Neal and Hunter Hart in that conversation. To me, you got to circle Cole Richardson, because he's the guy, he's finished on the box every round, with the exception of the last race where he took a 4th place. He talked about that with me a little bit prior to the race, about how that could come back to haunt him. That could be huge at the end of the year. You got to make sure you're on the box every single race.
Yeah, and he seemed well aware of it too.
Yeah.
You know, I think even in the situation where he was on the podium, but he was behind Hunter Hart when Bryson had the issues that first weekend, he knew how important that was going to be.
And to your point, Walker, you can speak to this. Johnny, you can speak to this. Very easily, we could be talking about Cole Richardson being the points leader right now. He could very easily swap places with Hunter Hart those last 2 races.
Yeah, those guys have been super close all year. Very similar kind of technique, per se, in their finishes, and they always seem to find each other on the race course and are always chasing each other around it. And just counting in my head, it looked like about a 10-second gap between Bryson Neal and Adam McGill, and then timing and scoring, it says 22 seconds. I would say that, or possibly more. But, man, Hunter Hart is definitely closing in on Cole Richardson. Wyatt Wilkin holding strong there. And then there is John Glauda. So we have not lost him, but he's definitely lost a few positions.
Guys, I think Hunter Hart made the pass. I think he passed Richardson when they went by there.
No, Richardson was still in 3rd, Hunter Hart in 4th. Yeah. And then right on Hunter Hart was Wyatt Wilkin in 5th. But John Glauda Jr. now making up a big gobs of time from that last shot. He was not even in the camera shot in the field, and he is now basically to the rear wheels of Wyatt Wilkin, who is still still glued to Hunter Hart, so that's where the battle is at the moment.
Well, and to your point earlier, Walker, you talked about Glada having the issues in Florida. He almost gets the dark horse, kind of role based on that, because he's not points-wise right there, but we know he's got the speed and the fitness to go all the way to the line. So Glada are going to mix it up as well.
I'm going to bring up a little, I hate this term, tidbit, but it's a little tidbit of information. Bryson Neal forgot his helmet coming here this weekend. Walker Fowler's eyes just lit up. You're a man of routine. I don't know if superstition. I know Johnny's not superstitious. So I want to go down that road.
Little stitious.
He's a little stitious. But, something as simple as that, hey, I forgot my helmet. Does that kind of throw you off your game? Obviously, he's leading right now. It's not an issue. But what goes through your head, something like that? You forget the gear. You maybe forget the boots, the helmet. You don't have the right gloves. What goes through your head in that situation?
I mean, I don't know about everyone, but most everyone that I've at least kind of talked to, we're all creatures of habit. And
yes, that's the point. Yeah.
When you have habits, it makes the little stupid stuff easy, so you can focus on the bigger task at hand, going light speed through.
And now you've got something magnifying this.
Something a little different.
Interesting. We'll have more on that in a moment. We're going to take a short break, get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more from the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC.
I'm seven-time GNCC champion Walker Fowler, and I run GBC.
Like a bullet into the first turn, the number one with the pink helmet and pink bars. It is Walker Fowler, the 17th.
Fist pump. You should be proud of yourself, Devin Feehan. What a ride today.
I'm Devin Feehan, and I run GBC.
I'm Josh Merritt, and I run GBC.
I'm Chris Borch, and I run
GBC.
The United States Motorcycle Coaching Association has been setting a standard for motorcycle coaching since 2016. Coaching is important for all riders, no matter the age or skill level. The USMCA connects riders with coaches, whether the rider is just starting out on their motorcycling journey, to a competitive amateur racer looking to reach their next milestone, or the professional athlete trying to clinch a title. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app and get connected to a USMCA certified coach today.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
ontrackschool.com. Check it out.
In the premier form of off-road motorcycle racing in the world, it's the beginning of a new era. 17 Supercross, 11 motocross, and those 3 playoff rounds.
Super Motocross World Championship Finals. Tickets on sale now. Visit supermotocross.com.
30-second card is up. We've talked all about it. We've watched practice and qualifying. We've theorized. We've bench raced. Now it is time to go. Racer up. Side by side we go. Jet Lord
race, every day. In every way. Print, social, digital, video, photo. Every race, every day. Every result, every story, every rider, everything. Moto every day. With Racer X.
Are you joining me?
Points leader.
That's me.
Are you running a reverse plate?
No.
Why not?
I don't have a good answer. Yeah, you know, I mean, man, it's been a long time since I've led the points in a GNCC. You know, last time was 2018 in my XC2 days, and ironically, I took over the points lead from Camp Coca there too after a rough start to the year. And no, I mean, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to see what we can do today. And you know, a lot of people have asked me how it feels, and I'm like, it doesn't feel any different than it did 3 weeks ago. You know, we'll talk about it more if we're still leading by Ironman when we leave here in October. But you know, no, other than that, I'm honestly comfortable. Like a lot of people have said about, you know, how does it feel, this, that, and the other. You know, I mean, I'm much happier and more comfortable, you know, to be the one that's being chased than the chasee. You know, we always joke about that my name's Hunter and that I'm always hunting. But no, I'm much happier being the one that everybody wants a piece of than, you know, the one trying to take a piece out of somebody. And no, you know, track looks great today. I'm excited for what it holds. You know, the weather looks good. Yeah, I'm excited. You know, this place has been good to me, and hoping for another good one today. Yeah, you know, this place is special to me. You know, got my first ever youth podium here, second overall, and then, you know, 10 years later, I got my first ever podium and XC1 win here in 2019 in the mud. And yeah, I mean, this place has been good to me. I was second when we were here in the fall, and yeah, I feel good. I've spent 3 weeks at home riding on some dirt, and my setup's dialed. I'm dialed. We've been eating a lot, you know. It's been nice to be able to just have some good structure in my days again. And no, I'm excited. This place is good, and we're gonna make it a good day today. I'm ready to bring the fight to the front. Last week, you know, on paper it looked pretty big. Junior and I got stuck in a bottleneck on the third lap for nearly 2 minutes, and you know, I mean, hey, those sand tracks, those guys just have something. Notoriously, you know, him and Walker are right about that gap. And no, I mean, on dirt, you know, if you look, the gaps are usually much smaller than that. And yeah, today the conditions are going to play into my favor. I'm excited. I'm going to be able to get loose out there. Biked the track yesterday. It looks good, and yeah, I just gotta be the best version of me I can be, and we'll be right where we need to be at the end.
There he is, Hunter Hart, enjoying literally half a watermelon right there with Mark Nauman, Levi Cohen, the boys. You know what?
He racing.
He should be racing. What are you doing, Hunter Hart?
Track.
You know what? I gave him a little hell for not running a reverse plate, but I'm sitting next to a guy that never rocked a reverse plate either. And you've got several #1 plates under your belt.
Yeah. I did beat the curse, so that's where I'm alluding to this. There's a curse.
There you go.
And,
yeah.
I did beat it a few times,
There's not
but
a curse.
historically it is out to get you. So yeah, you can't play that game. Adam McGill still holding strong in second. We did see Bryson Hill go by. That 10-second gap earlier is probably closer to maybe 13-ish, 12, 13. Man, Adam's just having a phenomenal ride. I know we keep repeating that, but I'm so excited. The Plus 30 Club is out there.
There you go. Amen.
And man, I just love it.
And it's not just that he's, you know, in a good position. He looks like he's riding very well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in the fields, he's hitting his marks. In the woods, he just looks comfortable, and he's still maintaining a heck of a gap over Cole Richardson at the moment. So we're waiting and watching a little bit of ground here until we see these guys pop out. They've got a little bit of a wood section before we'll see him. We did just see him go by the other side of the pro pits there, so maybe another minute and a half or so we'll see him over here. But I don't think, no, that's not Bryson. I mean, they're ripping, but they're not doing that whole wood section that quick. But no, he looks good, and again, maintaining that gap. We'll see what it is when we get a camera shot of just how much of a gap he does still have over Cole Richardson. But a renaissance year and a renaissance ride today. We spoke to earlier, alluded to, he's not been on the podium yet. Oh, that actually was Bryson Neal, and there is.
Goodness.
So that gap has opened up a good bit now. We're going to see upwards of 15 seconds here, and the 2-lap board out already. So it is going to be a 5-lap race.
Oh, I forgot
laps.
that. First lap was short.
Partial lap count.
That's right.
So yeah, that was actually 3 laps complete. And Bryson Neal is checked in, and we'll see what the gap is. Last lap, it was 5 seconds. Going to be more like 15 or 20 this time around, but still McGill maintaining a pretty good gap over the pursuers behind him.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen that number 3 ride of anyone yet, so be curious when we do get a camera shot, which we should be getting.
23 seconds is
there.
The
it
gap.
is.
So, and that's what's so hard, Walker. And you can speak to this. It's when wow, that's a big gap back.
Yeah, that's
Hunter.
Gap.
That is
Hunter, Wyatt Wilkin, and John
Jr.
Lauda.
So we assume Cole Richardson's still ahead of them. Does not look like he has. There is Cole. No, that's not Cole
that's
making
not
it right. Has Richardson checked in? We didn't see him in the camera shot.
No, has not checked in.
We have lost Cole Richardson.
So it appears now up to the number 3 spot is the number 3 of Hunter Hart, followed by the 6:21 of Wilkin and the 7:12 of John Glauda Jr. So that is a shakeup, of 36 seconds back of McGill. So Hunter Hart, Wyatt Wilkin, and John Glauda Jr. got to get on the hammer if they want to close that gap up to Adam McGill. But folks, I think this guy might be gone for the day. That 23 seconds he pulled this lap, likely just to continue to grow. We see him here in the GBC Tires pit stop area. Some fresh X-brand goggles and some fuel in that machine, and that Phoenix Racing Yamaha is back out on the track and leading the way. Bryson Neal, the number 1.
Going to be interesting watching Hart, Wilkin, and Glauda as they check into the pits for their pit stop. The Gator, Adam McGill, in and out. Mark McGill got him going.
I tell you who's really impressed me right now, Wyatt Wilkin. Hunter Hart trucked up on him, made the pass, and Wyatt is now like just absolutely everywhere trying to get around Hunter Hart, who seemingly made up a good bit of ground on him and made the pass, and it's like it re-energized Wyatt, and he was like, no man, I want that podium. And we're still pretty early into this one, but all of these guys now, and you can see how hard it is to get out of those ruts, and they all know that they need to go get fuel. So this will be the tail of the tape. Do they come out in the same order? Remember, coming in, it was Hunter Hart, Wyatt Wilkin, John Glauda Jr., and will there be passes made in the pits?
Mark Nauman struggled to get the fuel cannon briefly, and it caused Wilkin got around.
Yep, Wilkin was able to get around.
So, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Wyatt Wilkin, like you guys were saying, impressed, which means a lot coming from Johnny Gallagher and Walker Fowler, but he just seems unfazed. Like he's not intimidated by these guys that he literally grew up as a kid watching excel at this. The kid's got no fear.
Well, he was getting good starts early in the year, and he was running up, even at the opening round, we saw him in the number 2 spot, but it seemed like he would do that, and then he would put on, quite frankly, a pretty hard fade. He was still finishing 6, 7. He was still putting in some really good, solid rides, but this has been different. Like, he wasn't up front off the start, and he was kind of charging, and then Hunter zapped him, but instead of, like, just kind of being content to chase Hunter, he immediately was like, no, man, I want that spot back. And, I mean, he's fighting right now, obviously, over the number 3 spot, and has wrestled it back away from Hunter Hart and in the pits, but nonetheless, he was making moves before that. And here we see, that is the 6:21 of Wilkin right there. Hunter Hart in hot pursuit, the number 3 machine, and then just behind them it is the 7:12 of John Glauda. So that is your 3, 4, and 5 positions as they run here 3 laps in to this AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC.
And just to keep talking on Wilkin, because I'm a huge Wyatt Wilkin fan, he's a rookie doing not rookie things.
Yeah.
This is not, I feel like I had less consistency my rookie year. Yes, is he in that 5 to 7 spot? Sure, usually, but like that's an amazing place to be. But to literally to wrestle a podium position away an hour and 6 minutes deep into usually one of the rougher properties and one of the faster properties says a lot about his confidence, his fitness, and man, Wyatt Wilkin's just out there feeling the flow.
Let's talk about the local boy. On screen, the 703 of Austin Abney.
Still
solid ride for him. Now, Jay Shadron is the one who's kind of been pushed back a little. Or no, actually, he got around Abney. He was behind Abney before, and that is McClure. So Abney was able to get around. He was battling before. Oh, there we see Cole Richardson checked in the number 9 spot overall. So a big drop back there. Something had to have happened for Cole to drop all the way from the 3 spot back to 9th place in the overall, just ahead in the overall, that is, of your XC2 leader, Brandon Owens.
Yeah, maybe Jackson Burl or Zach Herron can get a word in with Cole Richardson's pits down there, see if we can get a little insight into what may have happened to Coltrane. But drops way back.
Yeah, that sucks.
Walker, I know you haven't had the opportunity to go out and actually see the track. Here is Josh Merritt on screen, the number 11, still running in, I believe, that 10th place in the XC1 class and looking like 11, 12-ish overall. But if you look at the battle right now that's going on, the 3-way battle over that 3rd place spot between, right now, Wyatt Wilkin has it. You know, Hunter Hart had it and wants it back, and John Glaude is kind of stalking back there. Do you think that those 3 will push each other, and is there an opportunity for them to make up that pretty healthy 36-second gap to Adam McGill, or are they kind of holding themselves back with all of their paint swapping and inside outs? What's your thoughts on that? Is the pace being pushed, or are they actually kind of the dueling holding them back?
I mean, if you looking at it, they're going to march forward. But it's so hard to tell how fast you physically are going when 3 riders are riding that aggressively. So it could be deceiving. I would say, I mean, it is the way Wilkin looked like he was being held up. I won't be surprised if either the gap doesn't change or they do come forward some. And then obviously we need to watch that gap between them and McGill to see if it was McGill that either slows down a little bit or if it that 4 through 6 or 3 through 6 group actually does come forward and starts matching that pace a little bit.
Leader on screen, the number 1 of Bryson Neal, just a blur going by. We call him the Bidwell Bullet. We might need to change that to the Bidwell Blur, the way he's starting to pull away today. You know, Mikey, you were alluding earlier to the fact that, you know, or Walker, actually, I'm sorry, you were alluding to the fact that he looked under control despite the fact that there was a lot of hype, a lot of anticipation that Bryson was going to come out with the goal to smash everyone this weekend. Frankly, I mean,
you're right. Yeah.
But realistically, I mean, many of his wins this year have been absolute runaways. So he hasn't typically been doing it like with a sprint at the beginning, which is kind of was your MO, Walker. You know, he's kind of really just been holding his pace and letting the other guys. Cole Richardson in the pits was 9th when they came through scoring. This is after scoring. Stop, looks like they have the left front wheel off and uncertain, trying to figure out maybe something hanging up with the brake caliper and rotor because they are, or changing a spindle possibly. That, man, that's going to take a couple minutes there if they're changing a spindle.
I can't see any parts laying around.
Real fast while we're watching this, we need the pit crew of Chance Hickey to the finish line, please. Again, the pit crew of Chance Hickey to the finish line scoring trailer.
Looks like we actually do have Zach Herron down there. Zach, are you able to get some idea of exactly what it is that they're changing out on that machine?
Yeah, guys, I'm down here in the pits right now. I'm watching frantically Cole Richardson's pits, trying to do something with the front end. I don't want to jump in here. I want to make sure they're able to do what they need to, get back out there as quickly as possible. But it was something to do with the front left end there. Something to do with the brake caliber. We'll try to get an exact word here in just a minute, but it looks like he's going to be able to go back out. Obviously lost a significant amount of time right now.
You know, we'll get that update once we can get Zach to get the official word. But Walker, I think we both know if they had that wheel off, just about the only thing they could be doing would be either a bent rotor or a broken spindle. Those would be the only reason they would take that wheel off.
Hey, Johnny, to cut in, yes, officially it was the spindle they replaced.
There you go. So we had a broken spindle. That's the only reason you would pull that wheel and have that apart, spending that amount of time. You know, if you lost your brakes on an ATV, you know, you would not change your brake system. It's too time consuming. So yeah, a broken spindle for Cole Richardson, unfortunate, but that is without question the product of hitting something, whether it be today or previously, because that's not a part that just breaks in and of its own. So some type of miscue along the trail, either today or potentially the previous race, weakened that spindle, and Cole Richardson having to stop for a mid-race change, but he was able to get going, likely still solidly, I would venture to say. Well, I mean, we'll see next lap, but solidly likely still in the top 20, but will he be able to, you know, climb back up and score more than just a few points, which is what's paid at the tail end of the top 20? Well, we'll find out here in about another hour.
He's in point salvage mode. My least favorite term in all of motorsports, point salvage mode, but that's exactly where Cole Richardson finds himself right now.
On screen there, did you see Adam McGill getting a little wild with it?
I didn't actually. I saw you point and laugh.
Yeah, he was turning right, and it was a left-hand corner.
Yikes.
Right, yeah.
He caught something there, but he got it back under control. I believe that's going to be a lap rider behind him.
It is.
But Bryson Neal came through absolute control. I mean, I'm just so impressed. Not that I'm not used to that, but just crazy to see it from this vantage point. And you can tell calm, cool, collected, whether that is by design or just how he's feeling today. There's certain races I know I could, like last year at CJ Raceway, I didn't have more than.
There is the battle. Hunter Hart. There is John Gallardo Jr. Has Wyatt Wilkin rode away from Hunter Hart. Now, mind you, by that camera angle, he could be just in front of him there. We just missed him. So that is John Gallardo Jr. just ahead of him. And Wyatt Wilkin not in the shot. Oh, there is Wyatt riding away just down in the woods. So it looks like he's ridden away about 2 seconds from Hunter Hart. So it's got to be frustrating if you're Hunter Hart. You're the points leader. You know that you need to march your way to the front to keep that points lead. And he did just that. Got all the way up to third. And then in the pits, loses a spot. And thus far, not even able really to match the intensity of Wyatt Wilkin. He's actually given up a few bike lengths. Now here on screen is
Jay Shadron
and Jared McClure. So McClure now starting to put pressure on Shadron, not able to make that run up the inside, having to shut it down so there's no contact. But it looks like this one is going to be going on a while. They were together when we saw them back at the Monster Mile, still pushing each other now, and that would be for third, fourth, fifth. That is 6th and 7th as they run on the racetrack.
Anyway, get back to what I was trying to say earlier, and I'd like to talk over the racing action, which is about to happen again. That number 1 of Bryson Neal on screen, another water bottle. He's hydrated today, boys.
Yeah, it's not all that warm, but sometimes it is important to stay hydrated, even when, your body doesn't think you need hydration. You're sweating a good bit, and you've got to replace that water and those electrolytes.
Okay, I don't know if anyone else is catching this, but there is a horde of lap traffic in front of Adam McGill coming up. We're talking 12 riders, so that is going to be a pain, and that is just going to make that gap significantly bigger. Earlier, I thought maybe McGill was slightly closer on that one camera shot, but I'm kind of seeing why. If he had to battle that much lap traffic, McGill is going to have his hands full, which is also going to allow that battle of Wyatt Wilkin and Hunter Hart and John Gallardo to actually maybe make up a little bit of time.
Yeah, it was 36 seconds back to Hunter Hart from Adam McGill when they checked in his scoring. We do know that is now Wyatt Wilkin. We're trying to get just a loose. Oh, it's a lot less. There he is right there. That is Wyatt Wilkin. And look at the gap he's been able to open up over Hunter Hart. Wyatt Wilkin is on a mission, and by my count has Adam McGill down to about 22 seconds. So from 36 to 22, he's made up 14 seconds in 5 miles of racetrack. We may see Wyatt Wilkin march right up to the rear of Adam McGill. And if Hunter Hart and John Gallardo Jr. can't get on the stick, he may walk off and leave him.
Be interesting. What a wild season it's been so far.
This is awesome.
I didn't anticipate. We can sit there, we bench race, we talk about it, and then race day comes and throw it all out the window. It's totally different.
A little bit just for fodder. This would be the only course thus far that Wyatt Wilkin has already raced in the XC1 class, because he rounded out the season last year by running XC1 for his first ever race here at the Ironman GNCC. Conditions dramatically different,
Yes.
Incredibly dusty, but nonetheless, his first ever top 5 overall as well.
So
he did
was
finish
4th, right?
5th. 5th overall. So his first ever top 5 overall, first race in XC1, and this is the only track that will have ever previously raced as an XC1 rider. A little bit of confidence maybe coming into the day.
He looks good, like aggressive but under control. And again, a rookie doing not rookie stuff. So
he's so realistic with expectations and goals, and we all have them, and everybody gives the PC answer on the microphone. But Wyatt Wilkin's like, man, without saying it, I want to get a top 5. I want to get a whole shot. I want to run with the front guys. He's done all those things. Now it's to the point where, okay, what's next? Well, a podium and a win.
Yep.
Outside of that, he's really checked all the boxes that would be your big goals as a rookie.
Yep. And like you said, he's got a realistic mindset. He's putting in the work to get it done, and he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And his goal for the season was to learn every race.
Yeah.
And you can clearly tell in the first 5 rounds he has learned something. He's putting it to use today. To go toe-to-toe with Hunter Hart is not an easy thing, especially on this track. And not only that, but he passes him in the pits, and then he's slowly inching away from him. And I'm a huge Hunter Hart fan. I'm a fan of racing. I love everyone. But it is so demoralizing to have someone walk away from you.
Josh Merritt kind of on his own out there, but still rolling along solidly inside the top 10 physically. Man, we've got a lot of action going on. There's battles all over the racetrack, and we'll show you all of them and more when we come back to the live action from the AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC after this.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster. Flexible financing options offered directly through Yamaha are available. See your local Yamaha dealer today.
Born of family values and a homegrown work ethic, Cometic Gaskets seals your machine so you can focus on the finish line. Cometic Gaskets are the competitive standard for racers who demand the very best. Cometic Gaskets are constructed from superior materials designed to perform in the most demanding environment, whether it's championships on the line or a day in the dirt with friends. Professionals and enthusiasts depend on Cometic. Cometic Gaskets, sealing championships since 1989.
AMSOIL runs on freedom and has since 1972. We punish our products firsthand in our world-class laboratories and beyond, because some things can't be learned from a test tube. Run with us.
Last season was my best season ever by far. I won a lot of races. I won a championship, and it was also my first year using ARMA. And one of the things I noticed was just my ability to string good days together. You know, like especially in the summertime in Florida, where you're riding every day and the heat index is 108 degrees, and you're doing 230s, and going to the gym and bicycle and all that stuff. I think in the past I've been super inconsistent day to day. Yeah, I may have a good race here or a good day during the week there, but overall, I think where I improved the most was my consistency in my recovery.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster.
and Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready.
Jay Shadron here, Break C1 Pro Rider. I race for Action Off-Road here. Having a really good season so far. Couple 6th place. We're looking to get in that top 5. Just made a few changes here, and we're going to get them starts better. Hopefully get up front early and stay up there the whole race. That's going to be the ticket, just getting up with those guys early and riding with them. I think I had the speed to do it. And we just got to put that whole race together and hopefully get that top 5 or land on the podium. The track conditions are looking good here in Indiana. I think couldn't be more perfect. I mean, they got some rain earlier in the week. It's been dry for a couple days. Looks like the morning race is getting into that wet dirt down under, so I think it'll be a great day. I like this track whenever it's these conditions. Usually it's one extreme or the other. You rarely get it to be this nice, so looking forward to it, and I think we'll have a good day.
Jay Shad.
Look at that
chrome
helmet.
Oh, you're looking at the chrome, and the chrome helmet is pretty sick. He sent that to me on the Snapchat. Pretty cool looking helmet. I was looking at the puppy in the background.
I had already seen the puppy. The puppy's cool. I like puppies.
Puppy's cool, man. Love it. We're here for it. We can't be biased, but Bryson Neal does have a Shih Tzu in his pits. So my wife's officially a Bryson Neal fan. So.
Bryson Neal on screen as
there
if he knew we were talking about him.
Do it for the Shih Tzu, Bryson Neal.
I'm pretty sure he's got a mini Aussie. I didn't know he had a Shih Tzu.
No, it's not his.
Oh, all right.
Remy. So it's a relative dog, if you will.
Got it.
Yeah.
He sure looked a lot more aggressive on screen there. I'll tell you that.
We're talking about the dogs.
I know.
Meanwhile,
sorry. I'm allergic.
Hey, we do have the GNCC dog show each year. So
that's true. The Mowgli Dog Show. That's coming up later this year. But right now it's Bryson Neal and Donde está everyone else right now?
Los otros estar muy lente.
Sí, yeah.
We?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Even in English, apparently, as I stumbled through that.
And there is Adam McGill. So Adam McGill on screen and a little more than that 23 seconds back. But still hanging tough, looking good. And, man, can't say enough about the way he was riding, and still is riding, but the way he was definitely riding a lap ago. And, you know, he's still maintaining a pretty solid gap over Wyatt Wilkin. We thought we might see Wyatt on his rear wheels, but Wyatt was able to make up somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 seconds at that last camera shot. But, heck, now it looks like Adam might have stretched it back out. So, you know, maybe he got the pit board that the guys behind him are coming. Hunter Hart now has gotten around Wyatt Wilkin, and so I think we lost Wyatt Wilkin is the issue there. But Hunter Hart up into the number 3 spot. John Glauda Jr. in 4th. Those guys on screen and in pursuit, trying to work their way up and get a little closer to Adam McGill, but I don't think they made up any time.
No, they had that big group of lap traffic. I wonder if they didn't get tangled up with someone. That's not Wyatt Wilkin.
My concern is the way Wyatt was riding, as well as he was riding. He was on a mission, and he has a tendency, unfortunately, and he knows this. We've talked about it. When he really starts feeling himself, he has this tendency to kind of pop out of the ruts and just find a tree at a high rate of speed. So we'll hope he and his machine are okay. There is Jay Shadrack, so now he's
great
lost.
For Jay Shad, bad for Wyatt Wilkin.
Yeah. There is Bryson Neal on screen, and he will be coming in for what will be a white flag waving, meaning one more lap around this Ironman facility here for this AMSOIL Hoosier, and we'll see what the gap is. Not looking like it's going to stretch out to one of those 3 or 4 minute leads, but looking like we're probably inching up on getting close to maybe a minute is what the lead will be when they check in this lap. Somewhere upwards of 45 seconds is my guess.
Yeah, I think our producer Adam Gordon chimed in there at that last little checkpoint. It was about a 45-second gap, so see if he's been able to add to that. A little bit of lap traffic in between them. White flag out, 1 to go.
Walker, to your point earlier, you know, the self-control that Bryson is exhibiting, like wanting to make a statement, but at the same time understanding that, you know, 30 points for a win, regardless of if it's by 1 second or by 10 minutes. And he's never really looked like he was forcing the issue today. He's looked like he's just kind of been controlling it, letting it come to him. There is Adam McGill on screen, and methodically just kind of riding away with it.
Yeah, and that's just the difference in maturity and being in these situations, starting to become a true true veteran rider. I mean, I know this should be his 8th or 9th pro season at this point, and that is my definition of a veteran, and he's definitely proving that.
You know, to your point, Walker, we talked about this in years past on Saturdays during the broadcast about when it was, hey, Walker versus Bryson. It was always Bryson Neal goes 100 miles an hour. He's always full throttle, and he would find himself making those mistakes, Johnny, kind of like you were just talking about that Wyatt Wilkin is currently making. And Bryson, over the last few years, has found a way to kind of not slow down literally, but figuratively slow the race down for himself, and it's translating into wins and a championship.
Yeah, absolutely. It's knowing when to use the speed you have. As silly as that sounds, people think, well, it's racing, you go as fast as you can. Not in GNCC racing. You cannot ride at your limit. You need to be able to have that little bit in reserve, so you're not pushing the issue. You're not making mistakes. Hunter Hart are starting to inch just a little bit away from John Glada Jr. 28 seconds. So they actually did make up about 8 seconds on Adam McGill that lap, but they're going to have to do a lot more this lap if they want to get up there and battle for that number 2 spot. 1 second back was John Glada Jr. We're showing Wyatt Wilkins 0.6 of a second down. That is not accurate. That was from last lap. He has not checked in yet with 4 laps complete. Adam McGill with the fist pump for the fans, and man, they love the Gator, and the Gator apparently today loves Ironman Raceway because he is on rails out here.
That's awesome. Yeah, he, I mean, leading up to this race, since Camp Coker, he has said, I want the podium. I'm getting the podium. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get one. And I said, I really want to be there for it. So I guess when this thing's over, I'm about to go wander over to the podium because...
John Glada Jr. now really starting to put some heat on the back of Hunter Hart. We did have a lapped rider there, so that may have bunched things up a little bit, but Glada looking like he's really starting to get antsy and wanting that 3 spot that Hunter Hart currently occupies.
And how about John Glada, just the ultimate slinky rider? I don't know, like he's like 1 second we're 7th, the next second we're battling for the podium, next thing you're in 4th and you're 10 seconds down.
Guys, we can throw him into that conversation we were just talking about with Bryson Neal. You know, having the gnarly speed a couple years ago, and Walker, to your benefit and to everyone else's benefit, seemed like maybe he just didn't know how to meter it and use it properly. He was trying to give it all of the throttle all of the time, and unfortunately for him, fortunately for others, you know, it was leading to broken parts, it was leading to crashes, it was leading to just unnecessary mistakes. And what I think we see out of John Glada Jr. is unfortunately just that, the mental game. The guy has gnarly speed. Yeah. He's got incredible riding technique. He is willing to send it, but knowing when and where to use that is what he is absolutely lacking at the moment, and that's why we see him kind of all over the map.
He definitely uncorks it sometimes at the wrong time, but maybe, I mean, he made some mistakes early on. I think he's recovered from those mistakes. He loves being on the podium, who doesn't? And he's definitely clearly hungry for that number 3 spot, and the way the lap traffic has been going, I'm sure that they really want to see that number 2 spot too. And I know, talking with Hunter Hart, just working on managing points at this point, he is the leader. We all know that it's going to be very tough to beat Bryson Neal. It's not impossible, but it's going to be tough. But if you can't beat him, you have to be second. Yeah. Him getting second, Hunter Hart that is, keeps him in the points lead going into the next race by 1 point. Him being in 3rd gives up, he would be down 3, I think, then. So it would give up the points lead. You kind of lose some of that momentum you had just spent all that time building, and you lose quite a bit of confidence. And one guy that would gain all of that confidence back would be that number 1 of Bryson Neal.
Watch the screen here. Wyatt Wilkin has checked in 7th. Jay Shadron on screen. When we looked last, Jared McClure was 2 seconds back of Shadron, and then another 7 seconds back, Wyatt Wilkin. So there is Shadron in your number 5 spot. Hard to tell if that was McClure coming down the hill. I saw part of a white fender. It is Jared McClure there in the number 6 spot, and we count to 7 and pan with the camera, and we'll see if we can get to see Wyatt Wilkin. So something definitely happening there for Wyatt. We talked about it, riding solidly in 3rd, starting to march away from Hunter Hart and John Glada Jr., and looking like we missed him. So, yep, we'll assume he is still back there in the number 7 spot. He was 7 seconds back when they checked in at scoring. So, yeah, back to 7th. Still, again, solid ride, but showing the speed, showing the stuff that he was up in a podium position. well deep into this one, approaching the white flag.
Want to show some, taking a look at the points as they run right now. Okay, I understand. Bryson Neal would be your points leader, Hunter Hart, Adam McGill. How about that? McGill, if you had told Adam McGill, hey, after 6 with the halfway point, you're going to be third, he'd go, nah, you're crazy.
I don't know that he would have. I mean, he's obviously put the work in this year more so than in seasons past. I mean, he came in looking fit, looking like a different rider, and riding like a different rider. I mean, this was a throwback to Adam McGill 5 years ago.
Yeah. We talked a little bit off air about it. The Lyme disease that come on, and just almost kind of forcing the party guy into a more serious regimen, taking himself seriously, his body, his fitness, his diet. Maybe I need to take some notes on that. But you're right, Johnny. I mean, and look at the results. I know another guy, Johnny Gallagher, who always looked like the Mikey Wayne's body, and then in 2017 he comes out as Skinny Johnny, and he got a win he took it away. There was some guy that season that won every other round, but
you
it's
asked,
possible.
When you asked Walker who was the hardest guy to pass out there, and you looked at me and you said, Walker, no, that was one of the easiest passes I ever made.
Was I even on the four-wheeler?
He thought he thought he was safe because we were coming to the finish. He was going to win. I was going to get second. But hey, man, when you pick a dumb line around a lapper and leave the outside open in a field, like I got to. But I almost tried to hand it back to him in the last corner.
It took us an hour 30, but I finally got you guys going at each other.
Oh, no, it's not like that. But I still don't regret that. That was one of the highlights of my career was ruining his only perfect season.
Hey, I love it. Couldn't happen.
I don't mind a bit. Yeah, I mean, in the moment, I was like, I was going to lose another one anyway, and then I did. And then I'm like, well, it's cool that Johnny got one.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark went perfect that year.
Mark did go perfect that year, so he had a perfect mechanic record, which is awesome. Speaking of perfect, how about Stephen Harrell not currently leading?
May not be perfect after today. Let's show some love to the XC2 real fast here. B.O. Brandon Owens out in front, checked in for the into the last lap, a 30.791 second lead over Steve Harrell, who was perfect through today. Now, hey, last lap, anything can happen. 30 seconds, pretty big gap, but it's a GNCC, baby. Who knows?
I'll speak up on that one. Stephen Harrell is an absolute beast. That kid is, he is as mentally tough and physically tough. Brandon Owens has ridden an incredible race, and Brandon has speed for days. But, I'm just calling him like I see him. Brandon's struggle has been the closing out of these wins. Today's in a great position, and if he's going to get it done, today's the day, a great day to do it. But he can't give up anything, because the minute, if he lets Stephen Harrell even see him, he's in big trouble.
Yep.
Nobody can see this guy right
I was going to say, one person that no one can see is that number one Phoenix Yamaha of Bryson Neal.
He's like the magic man in El Diablo.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Now you see me, now you don't. He's checked out, and as we've talked about so many times, we're not trying to be a broken record here, but he's just done it in such a calm, cool, collected way. There's never been the big sprint. I don't know if you guys missed it. I was out for the first part. Did we see the lock-in today? Did it happen on camera?
I didn't catch the lock-in today. No. Johnny lost his mind when he got to see it in person on TV.
Did you see it, Walker? Did you watch the Georgia?
Oh, I've been taking notes on the lock-in. I've been working on a little side project, and I really hope it takes off because I really want to cover it, and I think it's awesome.
He's just throwing something at us. He can't give us any details.
No details.
All right, somewhere out in the field is Adam McGill, or should be. I don't believe he is in full field behind. We'll pan, we'll watch. That is Adam in the upper left corner, I believe. Or maybe that is Adam. That is Adam.
That's
right
Adam.
Yep. Oh, no. Go back. Nope. Okay. Adam is off to the right there, so that gap continuing to open up, looking like now it's even more than that 45 seconds. So you got to wonder, is Adam McGill starting to feel the effects of how much effort he's put out so far today? Is Bryson Neal just starting to, really find his rhythm and march away, or is, the track just starting to get rough enough that it's really taking a toll on these guys?
I mean, just from my personal standpoint, I think he's just settling in. He's in a phenomenal spot, and I doubt he knows that this could put him into third place in points. So we're just going to pretend Adam, don't listen. I think he's just cruising.
Walker, let me tell you something about Racer Team. He can't hear you.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know, maybe Bluetooth speakers have come a long way.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. I'm just so pumped for him.
Here's the battle for third. Still on screen, Hunter Hart in third. Fourth, John Glaude Jr. wanting a piece of him, absolutely pushing. And again, these guys starting to look like maybe just slightly less than that 28 seconds it was when they checked it. Scoring, not huge inroads made, but, you know, roundabout a little over half a lap left, about 7-ish miles left. They're really going to have to drop the hammer or hope for a little bit of luck with Adam maybe getting tied up with some lappers and some bad parts of this racetrack. A lot of the track is fairly one-lined and difficult to pass. Obviously, you see the fields, plenty of room for passing, but you know, if Adam were to catch lappers or a big group of lappers in a bad spot, you know, you could give up 10-15 seconds real quick.
Yeah, it kind of looked like John Glaude had actually kind of lessened the aggression on the attacking, and maybe was just settling down, calm, and you know, wait for a spot versus pressuring the issue every single corner because it's just burning unnecessary energy.
We did see Bryson Neal just come through the camera shot there at the 5-mile marker, so 1 mile closer to yet another win, making what would be win number 4 on the season for Bryson Neal, winning the first 3 in a row, and then some setbacks in each of the last 2 rounds, handing the points lead over to Hunter Hart, and now he is looking to wrestle it back, and as they run, just that would happen. We're told, we saw the points on screen as they run, so unless Hunter Hart is able to make it up to that number 2 spot, that is what it would take for him to maintain the points lead. He would need to catch and pass Adam McGill for the number 2 spot.
A little bit of GNCC history here for you guys. Bryson Neal currently sits 7th all-time on the all-time wins list with 20. Some fella named Bob Sloan, 24 wins, sits 5th all-time. Before we come back to this property at the end of the season, we very well could see Bryson Neal surpass Bob Sloan, which would be kind of cool. Little GNCC history for you.
Adam McGill just checking by there. We'll see what the gap is. It was 1:37.53 when he came by and jumped up past that Specialized banner. So we're at 10 seconds now. 15 coming up now. So yeah, they're still. Oh, look at this! But keep in mind they still got this extra chicane. So like 26 seconds. So it was, what were we, 28? So yeah, they really haven't made up much. So they've got, they're definitely going to have to start pushing the pace if they want to get up closer to Adam.
Well, got a great one going on. We are just about down to the nitty-gritty. Checkered flag going to be coming out shortly. Bryson Neal leads the way. The Gator Adam McGill. Will we get a taste of the podium? All that and more in just a moment.
I'm 7-time GNCC champion Walker Fowler, and I run GBC.
Like a bullet into the first turn, the number 1 with the pink helmet and pink bars. It is Walker Fowler, the 7th.
Fist bump. You should be proud of yourself, Devin Feehan. What a ride today.
I'm Devin Feehan, and I run GBC.
I'm Josh Merritt, and I run GBC.
I'm Chris Borch, and I run
GBC.
The United States Motorcycle Coaching Association has been setting a standard for motorcycle coaching since 2016. Coaching is important for all riders, no matter the age or skill level. The USMCA connects riders with coaches, whether the rider is just starting out on their motorcycling journey, to a competitive amateur racer looking to reach their next milestone, or the professional athlete trying to clinch a title. Download the Motorcycle Coaching app and get connected to a USMCA certified coach today.
How would you like to go to a school where we take into consideration how students learn best? Well, we do that because we find if we can build the curriculum around the things you are interested in, you're going to do a better job. The mission at On Track School is that educational success is possible while chasing your dreams. Not only will our staff help students to achieve success, they will cheer you on to the finish line. We encourage you to check out On Track School at ontrackschool.com, where we can help you chase your dreams and still get a quality education.
OnTrackSchool.com. Check it out.
In the premier form of off-road motorcycle racing in the world, it's the beginning of a new era. 17 Supercross, 11 Motocross, and those 3 playoff rounds.
Super Motocross World Championship Final. Tickets on sale now. Visit supermotocross.com.
30-second card is up. We've talked all about it. We've watched practice and qualifying. We've theorized. We've bench raced. Now it is time to go. Racer up. Gates down. Side by side we go. Jet Lawrence, Justin Cooper in front of the crowd. Linger from Chase Sexton. Did anyone else get up in the mix? They have been 1-2 in the last 7 motos of this championship. Here we go.
Every race, every day, in every way. Print, social, digital, video, photo. Every race, every day. Every result, every story, every rider, everything. Moto every day with Racer X.
What's up? I'm John Glauda, race XC1 class. We've had a pretty good year this year. Had quite a few good finishes. Had a couple issues at the beginning of the year, got sick, so that kind of hurt me in points a little bit. But other than that, I've been feeling really strong this year. Been putting work in, trying to get to that center spot. Got a third and a second, looking to put it in the center of the box this weekend, hopefully. I really like Indiana. It's a fast track. I really like high-speed tracks. I think today, start's probably going to be pretty important. I was able to get a whole shot last race, which haven't had a good start yet, really, in pro class, but looking to keep up the good starts, maybe pull another whole shot. And Bryson and Hunter, Cole also all been pretty fast this year. We've had a lot of good battles, but really just need to figure out how to pick up that little bit of speed and get to where Bryson's at. And he's really fast, and just need to figure out how to get to where he's at so we could run up front and get some wins.
GNCC Racing is brought to you by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. And Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. Welcome back to Racer TV. Watching a little AMSOIL Hoosier GNCC. John Glauda, he's a guy, he's coming on. For the last few years, we've been calling those guys the young guns. I don't know if we can do that anymore. They're just the guns. Yeah. Now, as we take a look back, a little specialized race recap. The Hoosier GNCC of 2022.
Oh, mama, there goes that man. The number one, a Walker Fowler, grabbing him a whole shot.
I've gotten one or two of those in my career, I think.
You got a few. Man, I hate to even make you talk about what's on screen here because it doesn't end favorably for Walker Fowler.
I mean, it's a very similar thing that happened all year. I get a great start. Hunter Hart was usually pretty close. Johnny Gallagher's usually in the back.
Oh!
He's not wrong. I am not a good starter.
And Bryson Neal is usually a subpar start, and then he quickly works his way to the rear end of my Yamaha, and then the battle ensues. On this particular day, I was trying a different John Glotta, and that's what we're saying. He just rides wild. So maybe he's toned it back a little bit this year, but I changed a bunch of suspension settings, and I'm just trying like heck. I was too low. I was trying to literally copy actually Bryson's four-wheeler, but I can't do that. He is much more muscular and tall than me, and I just kept going to my head. But Devin Feehan, we miss you, but yeah, he was doing a great job there. But basically, Bryson Neal starts kind of walking away with this one. Very similar to what we have been seeing this year as well. So yeah, I'm kind of here in no man's land, just driving around. I had to throw that helmet away. I had a pretty good crash at the end of the race, and that helmet, it was the only time I got to wear it. It was sweet. But yeah, here comes the Bidwell Bullet. Easy peasy lemon squeezy into the finish line for who knows what win that was, and I think that was 3 in a row for him. And then he ends up, well, we won't talk about it because the next 2 he might win as well.
Right, yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I look back. There you are. On the box.
Look at that killer GBC towel placement.
That was good. Good product placement right there. So there's your look back to the Hoosier GNCC just a short year ago.
Talk about timing. Look at that on screen. The Bidwell Bullet coming to just the final miles here, final mile, singular. The number one machine looking like he's on rails, and man, he just knows exactly where to put that machine to find the smoothest line and gain all of the time. Oh,
getting some radio chatter. Sounds like we got some good battles developing. 2nd, 3rd, 4th place. So that's going to be McGill, Hart, Glotta, maybe. Shadburn was a little farther back in that pack,
but those 3 unless something changed up.
Yeah, impressive that they were able to latch onto the back of Adam.
Yeah,
McGill.
again, there are a lot of longer stretches this course. Things are a little different layout here, and a lot of longer stretches this course make it pretty difficult for passing if you are behind some lapped riders, which we did see a few lapped riders in that last shot ahead of Adam. Not a crazy amount, but you know, just enough that maybe he caught those guys at just the wrong time, or it could have been a miscue from Adam. That's the beauty of GNCC. We get to find out on the podium afterwards, and you know, we'll hope for Adam's sake that he gets to tell us all about it. We know he's been wanting that podium. There is Bryson with now an insurmountable lead as he comes down to just the final few corners, and this one is going to be a checkered flag waving for the Phoenix Yamaha of Bryson Neal, and another well-earned win number 4 here in 2023.
Looking at the history books, this will be win number 21 for Bryson Neal, and that ties him with the great Chuck DeLulo. So that's cool. Phenomenal.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then next on the list is Bob Sloan. But congratulations, Bryson Neal, that Phoenix Yamaha rider, just putting on a clinic again.
Yeah, I mean, just another day at the office for Bryson Neal. Going to be interesting to hear his post-race interview. It's been incredible professionalism over the last couple of weeks for Neal. Talked a little bit about this as far as he could have said anything. He could have stirred the pot. He chose to keep it professional. And I think that was just a great example for, I guess, professional athletes, amateur athletes, youth athletes, of how to carry yourself.
We should be seeing this three-way battle come to the finish. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get any of the previous shots, but we might. At this point, I think it's going to be difficult to make some passes in these chicanes. But it was 51 seconds, but assuming that they fell back another 28 seconds or so to where Hunter Hart and John Glotta Jr. were, unless they were able to push up, that gap is just big now. Bryson Neal marched away with this one. And still not.
This is not it
yet. That is not one of our top 3.
My palms are so sweaty.
Oh, here we go. There it is. Oh, that's McGill trying to get around a lapped rider. That doesn't.
That was John Galata.
No, it's not.
Oh, it wasn't?
This is not a three-way battle. Adam McGill all alone in second. So he is going to take the P2 for the day. Maybe got some bad information there. Not a three-way battle, but nonetheless, Adam McGill crossing the line for his best finish of 2023 in the number 2 spot. Finally gets that podium. The Gator is pumped.
Look at him. Look at him. He said it. He said, listen, if I can get on the podium, I'm going to have a Crown Royal. He said, if I don't get on the podium, I'm going to have a Crown Royal. So one thing's for sure, he's going to have some Crown Royal, but the party's on in Indiana. I know you guys here love him. Already handing him a tasty and delicious ice-cold water, I'm sure.
That's awesome. Just look at the fans, man, just surrounding Adam McGill. That's so cool.
It looks like, look in there, John Galata Jr. is sitting ahead of Hunter Hart as they're sitting there. Was he able to make the pass?
Yeah. Galata checks in the 3 spot. Galata gets around Hart. Now, how many times have we mentioned those two names in the same sentence for years? And really, Hart was always the guy who was coming out in front of Galata. This is huge for John Galata here.
Looks like we've got Jackson down here with our winner today, Bryson Neal. Jackson, take it away, buddy.
I'm here with your overall winner once again, Mr. Bryson Neal. Bryson, take me through today, man.
Oh man, this is a great Hoosier track today. This track was really tough, kept you on your toes. You could override this thing. Looking at it yesterday, I thought it was going to be just grooves and just wide open, but it got real deep, got real ruddy. There's a lot of stickiness, so you had to really stay on your toes. But we got a good start. About 5th or 6th going into the woods, a little bit wet, a little bit muddy. Kind of picked our way to the pack. Got to the lead by the end of the first lap, and man, we just rode our race from there.
Every lap we just do our thing. This weekend, last 2 races kind of been, a little bit of drama and all that. And today I just want to go out and ride my ATV and just get back to that. That's what I come here to do. I just want to race and do my best and go home. So really pumped with the team, all the family, all my friends, all the fans out there cheering me on and patting me on the back and, really coming up to me this weekend and talking with me and spending time with me. It means the world. I'm working for you guys. I'm working for my team. Got a lot of great people around me, a lot of great sponsors, and really happy to get this thing back up on the box.
Bryson, I got to ask, what's the plan moving into round 7 and for the rest of the season?
The next round we're going into John Penn, Ohio, and that's kind of known as my neck of the woods. So I'd like to do my best. It's Wexler country. Try to defend home. Try to defend home territory. Try to get a win there. I really love Mason-Dixon. I love the flow there, and then snowshoe. So the next 3 races, they're all unique, all really good tracks. So this Phoenix ATV Yamaha, CST tires, Hauser A-arms, Elka shocks, Moose racing gear, anything that's thrown at this thing, it's ready. So we're ready to try to keep on clicking and try to keep on putting on some good races.
All right, guys, your overall once again, Mr. Bryson Neal.
B. Neal back to his winning ways.
Yeah, so it looks as though Bryson, just comfortable in that spot, and like you said, hey, just keep clicking off wins, and he's not wrong. I mean, he's been very good at the Penton the last couple years, and obviously Mason-Dixon, he said, one of his favorite tracks, so not good news for his competitors. Racking up win number 4 today, and retaking the points lead. Hunter Hart finishing in that 4th spot, definitely relinquishing that points lead.
Great day for Bryson Neal. Great day for the Gator. Adam McGill taking away a 2nd place.
All right, guys, we're having a little technical difficulties down here. I'm not sure if you're ready, but we're ready down here. Adam McGill, you've been ready for a while, man. Look at that big smile. How are we feeling over here?
Dude, I'm feeling good, man. Man, these young kids are rolling. I wish I could have stayed with him, but got a little bit of arm pump, but I guess that's a given, being that I drink coffee all day long, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm super pumped, man. I wish my wife and my dogs were here. But when I get home, I'll buy you 7 bags of mulch that a puppy's tore up. So it's all good, man. I'm so excited.
We've talked about how bad you wanted this, man. We had the interview earlier on the Racer TV broadcast, the Lyme's disease diagnosis, all of the obstacles. Talk about what it means to be back up here on the box again.
Dude, it's been a long journey, man. I mean, this winter I went and seen a doctor, and he told me what to look for and what to stay away from. And I've been trying really hard. There's just a few things I can't stay away from, if you know what I mean. And man, it makes it all worth it. The eating right and all the bull crap that you put up through the week. It just, son of a bitch, I wanted to win, man. I wanted it bad, but man, these kids are rolling. But the old man got the old bones lubed up, so maybe we go to John Penton and we just maybe show him what it's like.
They said they can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we knew you already had it in you. Adam McGill getting it done up here on the box once again.
There ain't no tricks, baby. I'm just coming back.
Great job out there, man. Good job. Adam McGill taking second on the day in the XC1.
Ain't no tricks. The comeback is on.
I think this has been coming all year. He's been riding well. He obviously looks fit. He's riding well. He's consistently put himself in good positions, and no reason to believe that that was a fluke. I think we may see more podiums coming. Looks like that is Brandon Owens, who is just exiting the racetrack. Have we seen Stephen Harrell check in, or did Brandon Owens get it done? There's Harrell. Harrell coming across the line just now, so Brandon Owens got it done for the win in that XC2 Pro-Am class.
And to his credit, by just shy 43.460.
There you go.
A really good win by Brandon Owens. So whatever his woes were on that last lap, maybe he got her dialed today. Jackson Burrell stands by with John Glotta Jr.
All right, guys, I'm here with the third place of John Glotta Jr. John, take me through the day.
I got off the line decent, and then the first few turns I fell back. I went into the woods pretty far back. Started making my way through the pack, and I don't know, I think I was running like 4th or 5th maybe the first couple laps, and my front brakes were fading the whole race, and one lap I had a little bobble and went over the bars, and that's when I went back a couple positions. It was frustrating because I really like this track, and I know I could have went faster, but we just pushed hard all day, and I ended up using a line that I used on the last lap, and got around Hunter, and then just pushed as hard as I could to the finish and tried to make no mistakes all day other than that one little bobble, but rode good and hard all day, and I'm happy with third.
All right, everybody, that's your third place, John Glotta Jr.
Well, John's talking about it there, and all it takes sometimes is putting things in the right position. Hey, shout out right there. That is Chris Borich coming off the track, riding through 4 broken ribs today, and looking like he might have actually put it in the top 20. But yeah, John Glotta Jr. making all the good decisions late in the race. Some struggles earlier on, but season really starting to come together for him.
Chris Borich, a 12th place finish on that.
I'll tell you what.
For now.
Yeah, I got to give him some love there because I know he was considering not even racing, but 12th overall on 4 broken ribs and with a partially collapsed lung 3 weeks ago. That was a man's ride right there. That's a former champion, and that's what you get.
2 XC2 riders inside the top 10 overall as well. So hats off to those guys. What an amazing race.
Josh Merritt back up to 8th overall, getting back around that corrected time.
Wyatt Wilken keeps it together after a crash. What a good day, guys. That was fun.
Great day.
So let me do it again.
Yeah, come back. You're welcome anytime. We love having you.
We'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'll see everyone again in 2 weeks.
The John Penton GNCC. A couple big takeaways. Hunter Hart finishing outside of the top 3. Cole Richardson, not a great day. So plenty of storylines as we head into the John Penton GNCC in a couple of weeks over in you guys' neck of the woods, southeastern Ohio. That's going to do it for us today. Want to thank all of our staff, Jackson Burrell, Johnny Gallagher, Zach Heron, Walker Fowler, our camera operators, Ryan, Adam, Matt, Josh, and John, our drone pilot, Gabe Scholl. Got to thank our spotter, Hollywood, our EIC, Jordan McFadden, our director, Dylan Acor, producer, Adam Gordon, and, of course, our executive producer, Miss Carrie Jo Russell. I'm Mikey Wayne, so we'll see you at the races.